We're edging closer to New Year's celebrations here on the KTM Summer Grill, and we welcome to the desk for this edition someone who's arguably had one of the best and biggest years of her life. Jessica Dane, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you with us. I don't really know how we can, in one sentence, sum it all up from the, Super 2 and Declan Fraser, the success of the Red Bull Ampol team in both Bathurst and Championship, and then Brock Feeney winning that amazing final race in Adelaide and getting that breakthrough is super.
It's been an incredible year, and I've said it once and I'll keep saying it again. We really can't achieve all of this without the massive team effort. When I talk to people outside of motorsport about why it kind of gets you hooked so much, I always come back to the people, and it's the fact that you see one person going out on track in one car, and the mountain of work that it takes behind the scenes to get that driver to even cross the line, let alone cross the line first, it's enormous. So yeah, just credit to the whole team. I'm so proud.
Doesn't seem like all that long ago you were with friends in the stands in Silverstone, dreaming of the idea of coming to Australia and playing in motorsport, and now you are playing in a really significant way. Let's talk ownership and kind of management. How has that whole transition been? What's been the biggest learning for you this year, do you reckon?
Oh, probably the biggest learning has been taking on Super 2. That's in terms of the management shift with Jamie taking over as managing director and how my role changed. It wasn't a huge amount. It was kind of just a more intense level of a lot of things I was already doing, but taking on Super 2, which wasn't planned. We got through Sydney Motorsport Park, and then gradually as one of the other teams in pit lane started coming up and tempting our people away, we lost a lot of people from that core group of Super 2 people. So we had to piece a team together after Sydney Motorsport Park and throw us not too much in the deep end at Perth, because we still had a few of those people, but then they all left after Perth. So then that taking on that role, which for the first time was being properly involved in the performance side of the team, that was the biggest learning curve this year. Immensely
rewarding in that regard too. Nice to see the next name potentially coming through. Declan Fraser is a great young racer. He has spent countless hours away from the track in the workshop, and nice for him to get the result from all of that too, and the opportunity to go and do the wildcard.
He has been the most deserving driver in the field. It's so satisfying when you see that the hard work and dedication does rise to the top. So often in any sport, really, not only motorsport, but probably also business as well, you see people getting to where they are because of, it can be sheer talent and sometimes not the same application, or there's always some luck thrown in there. But with Declan, it's been so satisfying to see that hard work and dedication really paying off and proving that when you have that drive and that passion and that ambition, that it does get you the results that you're striving for.
That's a great word, application, and he really has applied himself. But let's extend that conversation to your own world, because in the midst of everything you're doing with the team, and beyond that, even in television and so on, you have been studying. Where are you at with your studies? And you have some professional elements of that to complete, don't you?
I do, yes. So the law degree, I did that full-time over the last 3.5 years. So I started that in January 2019 and finished it in June this year.
Just to clarify, you said full-time, but within the balance of everything you're doing at Triple Eight as well, aren't you?
Somehow the full-time study and pretty much full-time motor racing I kind of took a bit of a step back from motor racing as much in 2019, but then as we know, the world turned upside down in 2020. So that quickly got all thrown out of proportion, and trying to juggle all of that, I just realized that you can always do more than you think that you can. So just kept pushing and getting it done. Took a lot of sacrifice to realize that I can't be a perfectionist in everything. There has to be something that has to give, and I had to accept that I can't always try and get top grades at uni. I just have to be happy with getting through. I did get through. I scraped through, or didn't scrape through. I passed everything, finished that degree in June this year. So got back from, I did Monaco, Le Mans, Darwin, then exam. So
Wow.
and my last exam. So that was an intense few weeks, but so much fun. And now I start my professional legal training in January.
Excellent. And you're doing that in conjunction with a partner of AAA, Muncie.
Yes. Yeah. National Storage, fantastic partner of ours, have kindly taken me under their wing to do my professional development there, which will be the best part of a year, doing a couple of days a week in their legal department. So thanks so much, National Storage, for having me. I mean, big step by them. A lot of trust in me.
You are due. I mean, we're nearly at the new year. You're due for a break over summer, and I say that because you've also been dabbling in a bit of television again. We work together from time to time, but you passionately enjoy the Australian Rally Championship coverage.
It's been so much fun. I'd never done rally or been involved with rallying at all until 2020. Got a call from Paul at Motorsport Australia, who, for some reason those guys thought that it'd be a good idea to call up somebody who knew nothing about rally and say, do you want to come and host the final or the only round in 2020 of the Australian Rally Championship, or the Australian Rally Cup as we called it in 2020, because it was only one round, because Dean Herridge, my co-host, was stuck in his own country, WA. So I was called up and I said, Paul, I know nothing about rally, right? And he was like, you'll learn. Okay, right, straight in the deep end. And I think that the first piece to camera that I did at Canberra, it took about 20 attempts, and I could just see Paul and Rob going, oh my God, this is such a mistake. Like, why did we possibly think this was going to be good? This is so painful. But thankfully, I brushed up over the weekend and have kept doing it for the last couple of years, and it's such a fantastic community. I feel very lucky to have found that.
Yeah, that's so well said. It is a fantastic community, and you play it down, because I know you do a super job with it.
Now, I maybe didn't then.
What about, there'll be lots of girls, women, and we're blessed in motorsport to have so many of them working in all sorts of different areas. You are a part of, and I know you'll tell me you're only one cog in the wheel of a fantastic program, and we, without overselling it, really show a lot of other countries around the world how to do it well, don't we?
We do, yeah. So the program you're talking about is, of course, FIA Girls on Track, and that started in Australia in 2018 as Dare to Be Different, which was the program that Susie Wolf founded. It merged with the FIA Girls on Track program, and now we're delivering that. I think in 2022, we delivered 19 programs around the country, and we've expanded it. It started focused on girls between age 8 to 15, and now we're doing it from 8 to kind of mid-20s as we keep expanding it. We're hoping to get younger with a new schools program next year, so we can hopefully take it to more regional areas as well.
Excellent.
And expand it also with some placement programs and actually getting girls into professional settings and giving them hands-on work experience. So it's expanding massively. A massive shout out has to go to Priyanka at Motorsport Australia, who heads up the program and has just taken it and run over the last couple of years. And with all the challenges that we faced with delivering this program during COVID, she's always found ways to navigate that. And I'm one of 10 ambassadors, and then we've got a heap of champions, 22 champions, I think, around Australia who help deliver these events as well. And every single one of the females involved in this program is an inspiration.
In asking where that is going, and you've touched on it a little bit there in your answer, I think I also look to some of the social media that you share from time to time. I mean, there are some terrific young women coming through in the front line as well, which we can be enormously proud of, can't we?
Absolutely. I think that I have a lot of people who say to me, there aren't many women in motorsport, but there are plenty of women in motorsport. We're just not in the roles that you typically see on TV. So if you watch a supercars broadcast, for instance, you're seeing the team managers, the drivers, of course, the race engineers, some of the mechanics, and they're typically not where the females currently fill those roles. And that's something that we want to change, of course. I could list about a dozen female engineers who are all around the age of 17 and about to choose their uni and go off and study. So I'm so excited in 10 years' time. I'm going to have a ream of race engineers to choose from. But yeah, it's about bringing the women who are behind the scenes to the forefront and showing that we are there, and we're there in some of the most important ways. And I think something that's kind of flown under the radar a bit, or hopefully by the time this airs, it will have had a light shone on it a little bit. But in Super 2 this year, Triple Eight winning team, female team manager, runners up Tickford with Zach Best, female team manager with Kate Harrington. Super 3 was Kai Allen, he unfortunately didn't win, but runner up in Super 3, female team manager with Rachel Eggleston. So I think that there's a lot of good women behind the scenes who are making their mark on the sport.
Well done for pausing and highlighting that. Your dad's a guest here on the Summer Grill. He, is sort of retired, but we still see him regularly at the racetrack because he loves it so much. It outwardly would look like he might just let you sink or swim in life as you learn this next phase, right? But I mean, he's such a great person with so much experience to draw from. Do you draw from him? What kind of advice has he given you along the way as you've gone here, or has he just let you make your own? Has he let you make your own mark? I mean, walk your own road.
Yeah, it's interesting. So many people lean on him as a really fantastic source of advice and mentorship, and as kind of a guiding light, as it were.
Yeah.
Without meaning to.
No.
Too OTT, but yeah, a lot of people look to him for guidance and advice. But with my sister and me, he's always been very careful not to have too much influence over us. It's a strange balance between him wanting to control what we did when we were younger, saying you have to go to uni and you have to do that, and even though I didn't want to go to uni, but anyway, through to now where he kind of goes, well, I don't want to have too much influence over your choices and your path in life. And he never really told me, I want you to be part of Triple Eight. He's always left that up to me. And so when I started doing a law degree, for instance, he was very proud because he thought, well, that's another string in your bow, because I don't want you to feel like you're fenced into Triple Eight. I don't want you to feel like because that's what I did, that's what you have to do. So he'll always give me surface level advice if I ask for it. Yeah. But most of the time I take a great deal of pleasure from seeing other people learn from him and be inspired by him.
Yeah. He said, I recall having a conversation with him once where he said, in a leadership role, you've got to be like that swan gently going across the surface. It might all be chaos underneath you, but you've got to show everyone on top how calm and kind of in control you are. Can we finish with a couple? You've arrived here today literally from the team photo at the end of what has been from GT to Super 2 to Bathurst, you name it. We talked about Brock before and what he did in Adelaide. Amazing group of people, as you say. What a way to, what a year 2022 has been for you.
It has been, yeah. On paper, if you look at all of the results, it looks like it probably came easy, and that's frustrating because
doesn't tell the story.
No, exactly. Results sheets never show the battles. They never show how close it was, how hard it was fought, the effort that went on behind the scenes to get the cars as near to perfect as we could possibly get them, or to bounce back when we'd had a hard run. Yeah, the results don't show that. So I hope that people remember that it's not just about those results that you see on a piece of paper or on a screen. There's such a massive story behind every number.
We're about to say cheers and welcome in the new year. You are already thinking about things like Bathurst 12 Hour, the massive amount of work. I mean, some of your staff won't get to have a huge break as we move into Gen 3. What do you just look ahead to 2023 for us and what you're looking forward to and what the challenges are going to be like?
I'm so excited for 2023. The only thing I wish we were doing was Super 2, but that kind of came out of our control. But also there is a good side of that as well, because this year we've asked an awful lot of our team. The people who did Super 2 were also doing GT. We went from thinking at the start, at this time last year, we approached GT thinking that we'd be doing half the amount of programs that we actually ended up doing. And before we knew it, we were running 2 cars in Asia and 2 cars in Australia and 2 cars at the 12 Hour. And it escalated massively. And we didn't add more people. We just asked the same people to work harder, and credit to them, did such a fantastic job to dig deep and deliver those results. So yeah, shame not to have Super 2, but it will benefit the GT program. And I'm really excited for the GT side of things to scale up and have some really good resources, even better resources put behind it, and keep growing that side of the business. Supercars, I mean, Gen 3, everyone's excited for that. Can't wait to see those cars line up in Newcastle. But from a broader Triple Eight perspective, we're also expanding our manufacturing and our customer base outside of motorsport. So that's something that's got a lot of work going into it as well, and some exciting things bubbling on behind the scenes there. It's been difficult to take on as much as we wanted at this point with Gen 3 and how much time and workload that's taken up. But in terms of growing that customer base, once we've got that massive initial Gen 3 build out of the way, we'll have so much more capacity to expand what we're doing and really grow upon the resources and the expertise that we have available.
We hope you get a little moment over summer to soak up all the great achievements. We wish you and the team the very best for 2023. Keep doing the great stuff you're doing around the rally coverage, the sport benefits from that, and certainly around women in motorsport. Well done.
Thank you very much, Rusty, and Happy New Year to you and everyone else.
Exactly. Happy New Year to you too. All right, that is another edition of the KTM Summer Grill Run and Done. Make sure you join us tomorrow for our New Year's Eve edition. As a part of this year's Summer Grill, our great partner in KTM each week has a special prize pack to give away, which includes a stool, a stubby holder, and a KTM hat. Very cool additions for your man cave, your garage, or just for around the barbecue. To enter, all you've got to do is head to speedcafe.com or click on the link description below, and you could be in the running. And check out, of course, tomorrow's next edition of the KTM Summer Grill right here at speedcafe.com.